Hey guys, I'm here today to talk to you about missionaries and missions work. I'm sure most of you have been over the verse Acts 1:8. If you haven't missed a class, I know you have. Most of us look at this verse and think that missionary work is just overseas in other countries. During the time that Acts 1:8 was written, it was actually written in that area. So he was talking about your neighborhood, your families, and ultimately to the ends of the earth. There are many, many different types of missions work. Some people do live overseas. I got a chance to meet one of those. I was in a group called Master's Commission. I'm sure my grandfather may have told you some about it. I lived in a church for 9 months and got to travel all over the U.S. and even to Mexico. We went down to Chihuahua, Mexico for a week, and we poured concrete and built a church there. And these people had no place to really worship. Their church couldn't even house their congregation. When we started building the new church, all that was up was 4 walls and holes cut out for windows and doors. There was no roof, no floor. If it rained, they sat out in the rain for service. So we helped them get their church settled in and get them the things that they needed. Besides just going overseas, people do missions work in the United States too. We traveled to Daytona, Florida, and we did a spring break outreach. We had this huge party for everybody. We served them food and hot chocolate and coffee, and we sat there and talked to them and made relationships and made friends, and ultimately got the opportunity to minister to them. I know some of you wonder how missionary work pertains to you or relates to you. You know, it's not just about donating money and helping out, sending things overseas and sending packages. Missions work can be wherever you are. You can be a missionary even as a young kid. I've seen little children minister to people. I remember working at a gas station in Memphis, and I hated it. Did not want to work there. Growing up is not fun all the time. And I remember one of my customers came in. He always used to come in smiling, and one day he didn't. He came in and looked really, really sad, really upset. And I asked him what was wrong. And he told me that his nephew, who was 8 years old at the time, was shot by one of his close friends. They were playing with their dad's gun. And I remember in that moment thinking, you know, this is my missions field. This may just be a job, a way for me to support myself and my family. But ultimately, God had a bigger plan. I got to talk to him and pray with him. And slowly his nephew survived, he recovered. And the entire time his nephew wore a smile on his face, even in the hospital. Every time somebody would walk through those doors, whether they hadn't had anything to eat and I could buy them a sandwich or a hot dog, or if they didn't have anything to drink and it was cold outside, I could buy them a cup of hot chocolate, a cup of coffee, anything. And I got the chance to tell them why I'm doing it. And it's because I believe that as Christians we are to love other people. That's ultimately what ministry is. It's not about converting as many people as you can. It's simply about loving others and helping others. These missionaries that go overseas and risk their life, they're not doing it for fame. They're not doing it for glory. They're doing it because they love God and love people. Most of the time they risk everything just to show these people love and kindness. And some of them pay the ultimate sacrifice for it. Now here in America, most of the time we have it pretty good. We don't have to risk our lives to minister. In your schools, if you see a friend that needs you, it doesn't take much to walk up, talk to them, ask them if they're okay. Invite them to church, tell them you'll pray for them. Invite them to Kingsley Kids. I know you guys have a lot of fun and enjoy the food and the games and hopefully learn something. And hopefully enjoy learning something too. That's important. But missionary work is important. But just remember what it really is. And keep in mind that you're never too young to start. I hope you guys have a wonderful class, and I hope to see you next time I'm in town. Bye.